it is a difficult decision, and it is valuable to get input. I would also say, Mr. Orr, I like your first name better than I like your last name, middle name. Roland. It's a good name. I did try very conscientiously to look at this, and the two issues that are pressing. One is the schools, and Mr. Mayor, can I ask Ms. Schaefer a question?
Ms. Schaefer, Mr. Manager.
Mr. Manager, I'm sorry. Thank you. In the documentation of the schools, it said that obviously Hickory Middle School is 133% of capacity, but the line is, it does not include property that is already zoned for residential development for which no site plans have been submitted. Have the site plans been submitted for Estates of Hickory, the 635 home development?
Yes, sir. We've received 2 site plans for a total of 603 units from that development.
So that is the 133% includes that property?
Yes, sir.
Okay. The second thing I struggled with was, we have such a capacity issue at Hickory, are there plans by the council or by the school board to address those? Can you put up the one sheet? This is from the school board's current capital improvement plan, and you probably can't read it, but the red circle says there are no plans for the next 5 years for the Hickory Middle School and High School area. And so my difficulty is there's no plans to address the capacity issue. If I could, Mr. Mayor, have the manager call up Mr. Tate, please.
Mr. Tate.
Mr. Tate.
The second issue I had was with the roads, and there was quite a lively discussion at the Planning Commission about this, which Mr. Tate participated in. So he's probably familiar with some of the questions.
Mr. Tate, good evening. Councilmember Davis has a question for you, sir.
Yes, there are, in this traffic review report and in the staff report, it talks about this road being substandard. At Planning Commission, you talked about less than ideal. Also, Mr. Marston, when he talked that night, talked about the variable, that it wasn't a consistent 22 feet. It was variable. And then obviously the VDOT report talks about widths of safe roads. Could you basically very quickly address some of those questions?
Yes, sir. When we talk about standards, we're talking about design standards, and if we were building a new road, what would that road look like? And of course, over the number of years, standards have changed quite a bit. If we were building a new street that was two-way traffic, we wouldn't build it any less than 24 feet of pavement, much like the improvements that are proposed for Elbow Road now. One of the developers had proffered a section of Elbow Road, and they're bringing that to 24 feet of pavement. But that doesn't mean anything less than 24 feet is unsafe. Other considerations we give include the volume of traffic, the geometry of the road, the number of curves, and also the accident history along the road. And when we evaluated this road, we looked at what is the volume of the traffic. It was approximately 1,000 vehicles a day. What was the accident history? We didn't have any significant accidents. Excuse me. And the geometry, as you head south from this development, there's a number of curves, but really from this entrance heading northward, there's approximately 19 foot of pavement, and they've proffered to take about 50% of that road and widen it to 22 foot of pavement. So as a whole, we felt like it wasn't a safety issue that would really dictate what the decision was. It wasn't the best condition, but it wasn't so unsafe that we would recommend denial based on the road condition alone. We really felt that, you know, it was one of the factors, but it should really be driven by the land use issues as opposed to the transportation issues.
And that's what less than ideal means?
Yes, sir. Less than ideal. There's kind of a middle section of road between 18 and 22 foot where we say we'll consider various factors. Less than 18 foot of road, and we had some of that on Elbow, we would say that's unsatisfactory. Between 18 and 22, we'll consider those other factors, the traffic volume, the geometry and accident history, and then greater than 22 feet, then it's back to capacity and not just width of each lane.
The second thing was the traffic review looked at 3 roads, Taft Road, Benefit Road, and Johnstown Road. And one of the comments in the traffic review was, quote, according to the City of Chesapeake, there are no other approved developments that would impact the traffic volumes on these roads. And my question is, there are 540 homes being built at or on or near Johnstown Road. I think those are approved developments that would have an impact on the traffic volume of these roads.
Well, the developments that you referenced earlier tonight, those are much farther north than the sections of road that were evaluated for here. I think Olaf Landing was probably the one farthest south, and that was right around the Waters Road connection as opposed to the 5 miles south towards Benefit Road.
I lived off of Johnstown Road for many years and coached a lot of baseball in the Great Bridge Baseball League and the Greenbrier Baseball League. During my time up there, I saw on the board the movement of the Great Bridge Baseball Complex down the Easton Road. And one of the primary ways to get to that baseball complex is Johnstown Road. And one of the other things about Johnstown Road and this path to Benefit is that, during the summer season on the weekends, when Battlefield Boulevard is a parking lot because of now the increase of toll in May up to $8, then people in Great Bridge go down Johnstown Road to try to go the opposite way than to be sitting at Edinburgh, Hillcrest, Hickory on Battlefield. This traffic review was done in December. Would I have seen different results if it was done, for example, in May or June?
I don't think you would have seen significantly more. I think the summer months tend to have less average daily traffic as a result of not having schools. So typically, most traffic is analyzed for average periods during the school periods. During summer, I would agree with you. On some occasions, especially when there's events that occur on the expressway, you get people who start detouring through various routes. But typically roads are designed around, normal traffic conditions and not those isolated summer weekends and during incidents.
Thank you. I can tell you, though, I've enjoyed sitting on Johnstown Road and Benefit Road and Battlefield Boulevard many times as taking the boys to baseball. Thank you. In conclusion, I think this is an accumulation of years of minimal investment in our infrastructure, while at the same time the city is making tens of millions in profit each year. We need to invest in our schools, our roads, and public safety, and then developments like this can move forward in a positive way. Based on what I know today, the substandard road is unsafe, and the overcapacity of Hickory Middle School has no resolution planned. I will not support this motion. Thank you.